Good evening. Good evening. Daisy. Good evening, Dia. Subhash, Suman, Sanchi. Yep. Aruna. Kamal Gaming. Satyam Kumar. Good evening, Zoya. Ishwari, Priyadarshini. Fantastic. Talukdar. Welcome, sir. Rabi Shiva. Lots of respect for you. Thanks to know that, Kenisha. Avaz. Good evening. Hello, Abhijit. Ashlesha. All right, people. So, from the last class, some topics are remaining as well as some new topics are there. So, it will be a merger of the two PDFs. Those of you have not yet downloaded last week's PDF, please download it. We'll check out our topics again. Netra, drug rules, Indian passport, statistical database, quoting fake AI cases, protection to judiciary. From geography, we have Super El Nino. From science and technology, fake patents. From international relations, Nord Stream, sabotage, and World Bank climate action plan. And from economics, we have fiscal deficit in states. A few examples of Karnataka, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, etc. All right, so that is what we are going to see over here. So taking it further forward, the first things first, Netra. So what is Netra? See, it's an airborne early warning system. All right, airborne early warning system. What does it warn about? It warns about threats. So this topic right here, if you would ask me, it's something which you can expect in prelims, number one. When you talk about, okay, how to strengthen India's internal security or external security, this will come as part of the conclusion side of your answer. Now, those of you have yet to start your preparation, or those of you are already into your preparation, one thing you should always understand, in your mains answer, when you write finally a solution or a conclusion, it should be always on a positive note, on an optimistic note. So what should be the way forward? It should always be a solution that is already there in government documents or government data, a government scheme or something that the government is doing. You're not supposed to give your individual suggestion or solution. UPSC doesn't need that from a 20-something aspirant. You know what they would have done? No. You will give the solution which is already there. So, for example, to strengthen our air security or air defense system, we have Netra, which is indigenous. That means we built it, made in India. Airborne early warning and control system received final operational clearance. Final operational clearance means now you can literally use it. The Netra AEW&C system was developed by who developed it? Center for Airborne Systems, Bengaluru, under the DRDO. The system is integrated on the Brazilian Embraer EMB 1451 aircraft platform. That means this is that aircraft. Into this aircraft, that Netra system has been incorporated. As you can clearly see, this is no ordinary aircraft. This aircraft, as you can clearly see, it has almost like a radar system here. It is going on. It will actually do what? It will detect. It will basically detect what are the challenges that it is, what threats are we facing. Got the point here? The Netra AEW&C system was accorded initial operational clearance in 2015. The system was inducted into the Indian Air Force in 2017. So one operational clearance was already given and it was inducted into IF in 2017. This is the final operational clearance. That is, go ahead and use it now. The Cabinet Committee on Security Affairs has approved the development of 6 additional AEW&C Mark 1A systems by the Center for Airborne Systems. What do you mean by Cabinet Committee on Security? This is the highest committee that is available to give clearance or take decisions with regard to internal security, external security, and defense-related matters. And in this committee, we have Prime Minister, who is the chairman. And then we have Minister of Defense, Ministry of Home Affairs, Ministry of Finance, and Ministry of External Affairs. All these are there. Do we need to attend CA classes with Praram English batch? Yes, you need to attend. You need not take any notes. Sri Harini Bhaskar, PDF has already been given in the description section. Please take the PDF and please mark it. Whatever I am marking here, mark in that. Read it at least 3-4 times. The system is equipped with an active electronically scanned array radar. So it has a radar. But what is its significance? The significance is that it will identify whether it is a friend or foe system. What is friend? Obviously friend. What is foe? Foe means enemy. That system is there. A mission computer, secure communication network, electronic support measures and communication support measures. Main highlight is it can identify an aircraft and it will tell whether it is friend or whether it is an enemy aircraft. Got the point here? Capabilities, the system can detect airborne targets, maritime targets, track targets, identify targets and monitor airborne. Okay, same thing. Even monitor them. Track them, detect them, monitor them. The system enhances the network-centric operational capability of the Indian Air Force. India is the 5th country in the world to develop an indigenous airborne early warning and control capability. The other 4 countries are US, Russia, China, and Israel. Development timeline. The development of India's airborne warning and control system began in the 1980s. So this is just a brief description. It began in the 1980s, and then there was unfortunately a disaster in the year 1999, a crash in which many people got killed also. And after that, this whole thing was put into the refrigerator. Putting into the refrigerator means, okay, because this crash occurred, now let us not touch it anymore. It was later revived again in 2004. Netra Airborne Early Warning and Control System was employed during the 2019 Balakot strikes. Because if you remember, 2017 or 15 rather, it was given the clearance, and 2017 it was inducted into IAF. So it was used for the Balakot airstrikes. It was also employed during Operation Sindoor. So both the times it was taken up. Getting the point here? Taking it further forward, drug rules. Your voice is, please answer my query. All non-related, anything related to subject you may ask. Anything that is non-subject related, please wait till 9:30. 9:30 is when I take non-subject related queries. One question I took in between because it was from my Praram batch. Any doubts here, people? Any questions before I move on to the next topic? All right. All right, people. Moving on. Drug rules. What are the latest drug rules that has come? Now, in India, if you really see, always with regard to the quality of drugs, we find a lot of issues. One of the major issue that always occurs is number one, ingredients. So we know antibiotics that were meant for children that actually used a compound, I think not able to remember, diethyl something it was, that you're not supposed to use in as an antibiotic, that was given to babies and babies died. Number one, using ingredients which are not allowed, which are not meant to be used in medicines. Number two, selling medicines which are expired, beyond their expiry date. Number three, even selling narcotics and psychotropic substances. What do you mean by narcotics and psychotropic substances? See, narcotics are those substances that can actually affect your nervous system. The moment you start taking these drugs, your brain activity, your nervous system, everything gets affected. Generally, what happens is it slows down. So with all these three things, if you really see, you don't have a proper system actually to regulate or monitor. I mean, it is not that the system is not there, but again, the country is so huge. You have a medical store almost in every road. So it becomes practically impossible to go and check. And another thing, if you also know, antibiotics are sold over the counter. So if you go to a medical shop, now if you actually need to sell, if I'm a pharmacist and I need to sell an antibiotic, first and foremost thing that is necessary is a doctor's prescription. But any guy, any person today in India knows that one visit to the doctor will easily, for making one card, you have to pay 300 or 500 rupees. Doctor's appointment, another 500. Medicines, another 500. It is easily a 2000 to 2500 rupees on spot expenditure when you go to a doctor. So to save that money, what people, even including me, even I'm guilty of this, you go to the medical shop, you tell them their condition. That I've been having this severe cough since the last 2-3 days. For example, when I had visited Guwahati, I had got this very bad cough. Like I was literally coughing where, it was almost like a whooping cough it was. Almost as if I'm having TB or something. I got a fever, and after that fever got over, this coughing had started. So many people advised me, please see a doctor, please see a doctor. But me being lazy again, because I hate doctors, etc., what I did? I directly approached the medical shop. I told them the symptoms. This is what it is. This is going on. It's not stopping. That dear lady who was there as a pharmacist, senior lady again, she just told me, okay, Lou, I think you need to take an antibiotic. She immediately pulled out one strip from there and told me, have one tonight and have one tomorrow morning after food. Still, if it doesn't get over, then you will have to see a doctor. But what was the best part that happened? As soon as I had that first antibiotic itself, I started feeling better. It was almost like 90% of my cough came down. Morning, I had one more, and that was it. It was done and dusted. Now, why will I visit a doctor? You call this over-the-counter sale of antibiotics. It is not at all good. You are not even supposed to take it. You are not even supposed to take that. There are other problems because of it. Plus, these antibiotics, if you really see, so to mark these medicines which needs a prescription, there is a red line on these medicines. If you buy a tablet, let us say an antibiotic tablet, and if you check out the strip, there will be a red line running on it, which indicates that you are not supposed to sell it without doctor's prescription. But India being India, that rule is easily flouted. So what to do now? This is where government has decided to come up with a digital solution for modern day problems, which is to bring in a QR code. By scanning that QR code, you will get to know entire details of those medicines. Entire details. What type of medicine it is, what are its ingredients, when was it manufactured, who is the manufacturer, etc., etc. The expiry date, all these details are there. Getting the point here. Antibiotic, is it like alcohol means? Narcotic drugs. You can say so, almost like alcohol. Alcohol also slows down your nervous system. This thing also slows it down. Your reaction time, etc., everything slows down. So, Union Ministry of Health and Family Welfare has notified amendments to the Drug Rules 1945. The amendments expand the scope of Schedule H2. Schedule H2 means, see, under each law, you will have schedule, parts, etc. Like for example, in Indian Constitution also, we have 12 schedules. Simply means it's like a different word. It's a different title for name. Instead of parts, we use schedule. Amendments extend the QR code based track and trace framework to additional categories of drugs. Quick response code. That is what QR's expansion is. All vaccines, antimicrobials, that is whatever is there against microbes, anti-cancer drugs, and narcotics and psychotropic drugs have been included under Schedule H2. Yes, it is illegal, Shreya. It is definitely illegal. But absolutely, the fact of the matter is in many rural areas, like as Suman has pointed out, you don't even have a proper, proper licensed pharmacies are not there. Difference between antibiotics and narcotics. Antibiotics is meant to be taken when you have a viral when you have an infection which is because of bacteria. To kill the bacteria, you take antibiotic. All right. But to buy it from a pharmacy, you need doctor's prescription. Narcotics, on the other hand, it is illegal. You are not supposed to take it. Be it doctors, no, it is not about prescription there. It is simply that you're not supposed to buy and consume it. Now, some drugs are there. Like for example, if you go to a psychiatrist and you say that you went for a counseling, sometimes that psychiatrist will be able to find out that you are going through some clinical depression. So for in that case, the psychiatrist may recommend you certain drugs, which is basically to release a little bit of dopamine, reduce your cortisol levels, etc. Those drugs again, you need what prescription for it. But your marijuana, ganja, all that is not about prescription. That is not about heroin, hashish. That no doctor will prescribe it to you. Those drugs again, which has a therapeutic effect. Therapeutic effect means it cures a certain disease, mental or physical, but at the same time, it has a side effect. It can affect your brain functioning, nervous system and all. Again, when you take in small doses only, it's not a threat or danger. But when you repeatedly take it, it can literally cause you what? It can literally cause other side effects. For example, again, when you undergo a very severe surgery, etc., pain will be there. To suppress the pain, they will give you certain drugs which are of the nature of narcotics and psychotropic. Psych, affecting the mind or brain. They will give that drug so that the pain can be suppressed. But what happens is generally people gets addicted to those drugs. That is, whenever pain comes, they keep popping these drugs. What finally happens is they will become drug addicts. Yeah, that is true. Other example for narcotics is again, like I told you, the banned drugs, illegal drugs. QR code requirement. Manufacturers must print or affix a barcode or QR code in their whatever box it is. They should manufacture it. I mean, they should have it. The QR code shall contain a unique product identification code, the generic name of the drug. That is what type of drug it is. Is it an antibiotic? Is it an antimicrobial drug? Brand name of the drug, the name and address of the manufacturer, the batch number, the manufacturing date, the expiring date, the manufacturing license number, and details of excipients wherever applicable. All right. Just a minute. Excipients are basically inactive compounds added to the drug. For example, this is done, I will tell you for what reason, so that the body absorbs the medicine easily. That is the purpose. So if any excipients is used, that should also be specified very, very clearly. Yeah, anesthesia, you can say, is one such thing. You will be in a semi-conscious state. How do these come into the market? What about? All these things are a joke. CDSCO, etc. ABBA. See, at the heart of it, if you really ask me what is the real reason for it, it is the same reason what you have. That is with not directly related. With regard to CBI, former director of CBI called it a caged parrot. The reason why he called it a caged parrot was because it doesn't have any powers as such. Anything they have to do, even financial independence they don't have. Because whatever budget the CBI needs, it needs to be approved by the parliament. In India, barring the constitutional bodies, and the judiciary, most of the other organizations, we have organization for everything. Most of the other organizations, if you see, we have everything. We have NHRC, we have HSRC, National Commission on Women, National Commission on Child Development. Women and Child Development. Then we have, like what you people have pointed out, Drugs Controller Authority. Everything is there. FSSAI, they are all there. Food Safety and Standards Authority of India. Every organization, you name it, we have it. But what is the problem? Except these organizations, for the rest of the organizations, including CBI, their budget has to be approved by the parliament. That means if I am the CBI director, I don't get to control or decide on the money that I need. I can only send a request to the Ministry of Home Affairs. This much is budget I need. Ministry of Home Affairs may forward the same to Ministry of Finance. They may consider it. Otherwise, what they will do, if I have asked for 10 lakhs, they may sanction 7 lakhs. If I have asked for 7 lakhs, they may sanction 4 lakhs or 3 lakhs. That is how it is. Finally, the money that I get with a limited budget for that year, I should run the whole show. It is not that I can keep spending whatever money I want. So when you're running on a very tight budget to go and conduct the raid, to go and conduct arrest or seal a pharmacy shop, you need specific government orders. And when will the specific government orders come? That will come only when some disaster occurs. Some fake medicine racket busted, or some, let us say, some faulty medicines were discovered, or some expiry date, some medicines whose expiry date has already passed, that is discovered, like that, one by one. So all this, when a case occurs, they will act. Otherwise, they will just sit simply there. Got the point here? Earlier framework. Okay, that you leave. So this is the next comedy here. What about the implementation timeline? Provisions related to vaccines, anti-cancer drugs, and narcotic and psychotropic substances shall come into force only from 1st July 2027. That is, government made the rule, but government has given ample time for the manufacturers to what? Comply. Enough time. When it comes to antimicrobials, it is 1st July 2028. Because these people need more time. Obviously, it is always reactive in our country. What is proactive in this country? Historically also, if you see, what is proactive? Indira Gandhi got assassinated by her own bodyguards. That is when we decided, oh, we need a special security then for the Prime Minister. That is how Special Protection Group came. When the ex-Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi got assassinated, that is when we realized, oh, then we will do one thing. We will give SPG cover, not just to the Prime Minister, we will also give it to the ex-Prime Minister. Got the picture here? Always in India, it is basically like something has to happen for us to realize. 26/11 took place. That is when we revamped the whole security apparatus in the country, including changing the syllabus as well as the training for IPS officers in National Police Academy, Hyderabad. Any doubts here? Obviously, Ira, it is too much time, but they need time to comply. Till then, let us all sit and pray that not even our enemy should ever get admitted in a hospital. Okay. Anything that is against a microbe, it can be against virus, it can be against a fungus, it can be against any other pathogen. Why crime is a joke in this country? Too many people. Too many people. If one is lost also, nothing else will happen. All right. Coming to Indian passport. What is this? Because Indian passport. Now this came as a shocker, at least to a few of the people. So Indian passport is not a conclusive proof of citizenship. It came as a shocker for me also. I was like, Indian passport is not a proof of my citizenship. Oh my God. That was a reaction. But later, obviously, I thought, true, right. Why will it come under citizenship? Because citizenship is governed by Citizenship Act of 1955, which has been amended multiple times. And in that, nowhere it is mentioned what actually constitutes as a single document proof of citizenship. There is no such document. Nowhere in Citizenship Act it has been mentioned. Be it your Aadhaar, be it your voter's ID, be it your passport, these are all just documents meant for identification. Voter's ID, again, just proves that you are a registered voter. Aadhaar just proves your identity, what is your house address, etc., etc., your retinal scan, all that. Passport, it's just a travel document for those people. Again, you're traveling outside India. The rest of the world should know where you are from. And for that, you show the passport to them, Indian passport to them. They will get to know, okay, you're from India. Got the point here? To all the people who are going on asking, in Pinnacle batch, current affair is there or not? In Titan batch, it is there or not? It is there for all the batches. The thing is, earlier, there used to be a separate batch. A comprehensive current affairs batch used to be there. Exclusively, a separate paid batch. Then on Saturdays, we used to have a revision class. Now that paid batch, we have done away with it simply because it was creating a lot of confusion. So now this current affairs class, if you see, it is kept free for be it Pinnacle, be it Praram, be it Titan, as well as to the YouTube community who wants to take faida of it, advantage of it. All right, that's it. So let us look into the content here. Indian passport is not a document of citizenship and it is not conclusive proof of citizenship. Ministry of External Affairs reiterated this position during the 14th Passport Seva Divas celebration in response to questions on whether a passport could establish citizenship during the special intensive revision of electoral rolls in 16 states. We will take it up. We will take it up. I'll explain that to you. How another person can get citizenship in India. Now, I'll tell you what is this. So, Special Intensive Revision Exercise, SIR. Special Intensive Revision. Special Intensive Revision. Now, what is the Special Intensive Revision? See, this exercise was conducted by Election Commission of India as per Article 324. For what basically? What is the Special Intensive Revision? It is basically to revise and update voters list, what we officially call as electoral roll. Now, if you remember in the months preceding to the elections that took place in Tamil Nadu, the state of Kerala, the state of West Bengal, and other states, basically, there was a lot of noise surrounding the Special Intensive Revision. Why are they conducting it? Why are they conducting it now? This is basically to give advantage to the BJP, etc., etc., etc. Now, let us try to understand this from the point of view of Election Commission of India. You must understand one thing. Election Commission of India, it is a constitutional body, agreed. They have financial independence, agreed. But what is it that they don't have? They don't have their own staff. That means Election Commission of India don't have any dedicated staff. Then from where do they get their staff from? They can utilize central government employees, all India service employees, state government employees when election is there in a state or in Lok Sabha. That time they can use it. In other words, now in West Bengal recently election concluded. So Election Commission of India could control the central government employees there, all India service employees there, state government employees there. Now I have all this entire government servants under my beck and control. When I say beck and control, please understand if I'm talking about state of West Bengal, just before the elections, when ECI enters the scene, they can transfer state, center, as well as all India service officers within the state. Within the state, Election Commission of India can transfer them anywhere they want. That level of control it is. So, because ECI does not have any dedicated staff of their own, they can update the voters list only when an election is going to be held. Otherwise, they cannot do it. They don't have the manpower for that. So because elections were about to be conducted in West Bengal, they conducted the SIR there. Many opposition parties again challenged it. How can they conduct the SIR? No, this shouldn't be conducted, etc. The matter went all the way up to the Supreme Court. Supreme Court basically made it very clear that conducting SIR is the constitutional duty of Election Commission of India under Article 324. That cannot be questioned by anybody. So they conducted it. They updated the voters list. Now what is the issue here? When they updated the voters list, many people lost their voting rights. Because Election Commission of India literally asked for, okay, what are your documents? Show me your documents. Show from where you are from. What is it, etc. So Election Commission of India had given a list of, I think, 11 documents. 11 documents they have given. In this 11 documents, bring whatever you can. Some people, even after submitting all the 11 documents, they still did not get voting rights. Because there was something not clear about it or something shady about it. That means maybe one or two documents they would have forged. I mean, this is India after all. If you can fool the UPSC and get extra attempts. Alright, I'm talking about the ultimate Pro Max woman. You know whom I am talking about? Let us not name her. She who must not be named. So if she was able to fool the UPSC, you think it is that difficult to make documents in this country? There are dedicated networks to make you documents. Which document you want, it will be made. So ECI actually started verifying. So they found that some people were not actually from India. They have come from outside. So their names were deleted from the voters list. So they lost their voting rights. Now if you actually notice, who gets the right to vote? A citizen. Only a citizen has the right to vote. Correct. Now, if I say that no, you will not get a right to vote because your documents are fake, by default, what does it mean? It simply means you are not a citizen of India. Correct. Whatever 11 documents you produced, I found that maybe 8 are fake in it. So therefore, I concluded that no, you are not a voter. Alright. You are not a voter. And if you are not a voter means you are not a citizen. Now here comes the comedy part. What is the comedy here? The comedy is that Election Commission of India only has the right to find out who is a voter and who is not. Correct? And just because you found out who is not a voter, can Election Commission of India even say that, okay, therefore you are not a citizen? Can the Election Commission of India say that? No. Why? In which law does it say? In which part of the Constitution? Under Article 324 or 325, 326, whatever. Or under Representation of People's Act. Any act you take, under voting rights if you take. Where is it said that Election Commission of India can take a decision whether a person is a citizen or a non-citizen? It is not mentioned anywhere. There is no mention of this anywhere. What actually decides whether a person is a citizen or not? It is actually the Citizenship Amendment Act. Sorry. Act 1955. This is the act that actually decides whether a person is a citizen or not. How to become a citizen, how you will end up losing your citizenship, very clearly it is mentioned here. Got the picture here? But again, under this act also, if you see, there is no mention that you can use ECI data to detect citizen or non-citizen. Again, there is no law again which actually prevents government of India to detect citizen or non-citizen based on ECI data. No law is there which actually says that ECI data can be used to detect citizen or non-citizen. Under the Citizenship Act, there is no such mention. Again, there is no law which will prevent the government of India. No law which prevents the government of India to find who are the citizens or non-citizens based on ECI data. So this has become one comical sort of a thing, a clear lacunae of the law. Nobody would have thought of such a day will come where ECI will delete few people from the voters list and those people will lose their citizenship also. Got the point? So this is the matter under consideration now, and that is where passport, they basically said that just because you have a passport, it does not mean you are a citizen. It just means that you are a national. You're there inside India. That's it. And you have obtained this travel document to travel to other countries. Other than that, passport is not a valid document. It is one of the documents that may be used to prove citizenship, but not the absolute only one. Census, again, it is not a proof of citizenship. It only counts the number of people in the country. In fact, a citizenship registration certificate is there. Citizenship registration certificate, that is again only given to those people who have applied for citizenship. Applied for it. That is, let us say somebody came from abroad. They stayed here for 7 years, etc. Whatever. Then they applied for citizenship. Then they got that citizenship. They will be issued a certificate. So people who have come here, settled here, then got the citizenship, they get a certificate. Say for example now, minorities who came from Pakistan, Afghanistan, Bangladesh. That is the Hindu, Sikhs, Buddhists, Jains, Parsis, Christians. These 6 communities. They will get what? Citizenship certificate. But I don't have a citizenship certificate. Why? Because my parents are Indians. That's a simple reason. I don't have a citizenship certificate. Tomorrow if somebody asks me to prove it, okay, I have my 10th standard marks card, my 12th standard marks card, my BTech certificate, my Aadhaar, PAN card, passport, etc., etc. Based on all this, they will prove, okay, this guy was here in India, this, they can verify. That's the point here. Got the point? This is how you do it. 8 to 10 documents you present. So I will tell you. So my one member of my family again is highly anti-BJP. All right, totally anti-BJP. So he was like, see, minorities are getting targeted. Minorities are being thrown out of the country. See, minorities are losing the this thing. They're losing their citizenship. Minorities are being flushed out. Comedy part was when they came again, because in Kerala also elections took place. So when they came for this SIR exercise, they were able to verify my whereabouts. My name was there in the voters list because my vote is still in Kerala. So they verified, Nikhil Ram, yes, this is verified. They were unable to verify my mother's vote. I'm not joking. They were unable to verify. They were like, you were here, then before that, where were you? So because she got married and she moved from her hometown to my father's hometown, that gap was there. So they were not able to verify where was her old vote. Current vote is in Thrissur, Kerala. But where was her old vote? That they were unable to verify because data is not there with the government. So then they said, we would need your Aadhaar, we would need your whatever documents you have with you, please share it with us. So my mother had to submit PAN card, 10th standard, her degree certificate, everything. Once they had all the documents, they were like, yes, verified. So it has nothing to do with being a Muslim or being a minority or being a Christian, etc. It is only to do with what? If they are unable to verify where your vote was there before, because obviously she's close to 70 now. So they had to verify before Trishur where was her vote. That was in Calicut, but they did not have a document for it to verify. So they had to ask her entire history. She gave it, they cross checked it, got it proved. End of the story. Got the point here? Ministry of Home Affairs is the competent authority to determine and grant Indian citizenship. All right. See, Harshita, if you really ask me why are we not having any document, etc., the main point is, even though our dear, the very smart, the very beautiful, and extremely talented Mahua Moitra ji, she actually said that nobody would want to, nobody would want to stay in India. Given a chance, everybody will go and settle in Bangladesh. Wow, 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 wow. Maybe she should go now because she has got the egg treatment, just like the other members of TMC. The reality is that Indian borders, if you really see, India, if you really ask me, safe haven for refugees or illegal immigrants, whether they are from Pakistan, whether they are from Afghanistan, whether they are from, okay, Nepal, you leave, Bangladesh, Myanmar, Bhutan also you leave. Nobody from Bhutan is that mad enough to come and settle here. I mean, Bhutan is a fantastic place. Sri Lanka. For all this surrounding neighborhood, India is the place what anything happens in their respective countries, run and come to India. This has been the standard operating procedure since time immemorial, I would say. Any problem, come to India. Bangladesh civil war is going on, come to India. Myanmar military is attacking the people there, come to India. Pakistan, the military took over, come to India. Afghanistan, trouble is there because of Taliban, come to India. This is the reality. To add insult to injury, we never secured our borders also. A country where almost everybody who is there, from top, from right, from left, from down, everyone wants to come over here. All right, everybody wants to come to India. The borders were never settled. By looking at the face, how the hell am I going to find out whether this person belongs to India or not? It is difficult. Correct. And our population again, 145 crore. How will you do it? How will you find out each and every person? Because many of the people, if you really see, like I told you, 90%, more than 90% of the population belongs to the informal sector, where roti kapada makan is still a nightmare. If any population is there who are having proper documents, we can say it is the 10% of the population who are in formal sector, taken formal education, etc., documents, all that. Otherwise, we have never had it. We have never ever had it. So somebody staying in a slum area, in a jopadi, in a very small, I hope jopadi is not a bad word now. Jopadi, my thought is like a slum, very, a shanty like place, which has an unorganized, a kacha house. Plenty are there. The slums of Dharavi, Asia's largest slum. How are you going to verify who is a citizen and who is a non-citizen? Earlier, when they had a civil war, people used to come from Sri Lanka. And they used to settle in Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Andhra, Telangana, those areas. Nowadays it has reduced, that is there, but earlier it used to happen. Got the point here? This was the deal. Now, how will you find it out? Border also, if you actually see, border securement again, thank our Mamta Didi, when she was the chief minister of West Bengal. Now I can openly say, she's being kicked out not only from West Bengal, but from her own party also. She never used to allow border fencing here. Border fencing she never used to allow. Land is a state subject. Now without, see, first you should secure the border. Only then the border is secured, you can tell, you can then do the exercise of, now let us find out who are Indians, who are non-Indians. When you're not secured the border, how are you going to find out who is who? This is the problem. Should the children of illegal immigrants born on Indian soil be granted automatic citizenship or creates a loophole? There is no automatic citizenship in our country. By birth, you get citizenship only if one or either of the parent is from India, is also an Indian citizen. Number one. Number two, the other parent, that is, let us say husband is the father, sorry, not husband. The father is an Indian citizen, but mother, let us say, is an illegal immigrant. Then your citizenship, then the child born to this family will be denied citizenship. The comedy of our country is that a female had come to our country. She was staying in Delhi, I believe. She became a grandmother. Illegally, she entered the country. She married an Indian here. She settled here and she became a grandmother. So technically, her as well as her children, as well as her grandchildren, all are illegal immigrants. But as usual, the left narrative is there now. A poor mother, a poor grandmother will be separated from her children today. And is this what India stands for? Is this what democracy stands for? I don't understand. Will I allow somebody to enter my house and stay in my house, eat my food, use my toilet without my permission? Absolutely not. So all these people who will give this left narrative, we must open our hearts and let the people in. I would suggest, please open your house. Open your house, open your estate, everything, and take all these illegal immigrants. 24 hours, they will make a scheme out of you. That's all that it would take. Got the picture here? This was the deal. This is how it happened. Now, interestingly here, this is the explanation part. So, Ministry of Home Affairs decides matters of citizenship. Ministry of External Affairs issues passports after due diligence and document verification, like police verification, verification of proof of residence, Aadhaar, and any other supporting documents. One of the best supporting documents. That means, I have told this earlier also, your 10th standard is one of the most useless certificate on planet Earth. Your parents would have told you it is one of the biggest turning point in your life. There is no turning point. The 10th standard certificate, apart from the date of birth, your father's name, these two things are there. These two are the main criteria for all the future documents. That is the only utility with 10th certificate. Your marks and all, nobody cares. Trust me. I know it. At 39, I can vouch this for you. But what if they earn and pay you the rent and for food as well? Let them, if they are that talented, let them go somewhere else. Now, why are they entering my home? You enter my home without my permission, I will not even think twice who you are. I will probably even put you down, neutralize you, kill you. Simple. You earn in crores and come, I don't care. You are earning crores. Go find your own home, man. Who are you to enter my house illegally? That is the point. Yeah. Cycle will go on. After 12th, they will tell you graduation. After graduation, they will tell you marriage. After marriage, they will tell you baby. Then they will stop because then they will be happy. Life is ruined. Look, she's suffering with the baby now. She can't take care of herself. Plan success. That's it. Under Section 62A of the Passport Act 1960, passport may be refused if the applicant is not an Indian citizen. Under Section 20 of the Passport Act 1960, Union government may issue a passport or travel document to a non-citizen if it considers such issuance necessary in public interest. That means it is Union government's discretion. Getting the point here? Union government's discretion it is. Otherwise, there is no such necessity. What to do then? Nothing to do. This is, see, I will tell you, people may have 1,000 complaints on this government. But imagine after 78 years of independence, or 79, whatever years of independence, finally one government has come where they are for the first time putting border fencing across India-Pakistan border, India-Myanmar border, India-Bangladesh border. Will you believe it? First time it is happening. India-Bangladesh border again, I think by 2030 or something, it will be completely sealed and secured. That is the bottom line. So for the first time, we are going to have what? A proper organization. We are finally going to find, like how they say it in Hindi, doodh ka doodh, pani ka pani. Who and all belongs to India, who and all doesn't belong to India. Find them, track them, find them, pack them off. Or put them in detention centers. Got the picture here? Probably after all this is over, the census is also over. Probably then maybe they will pass some law. Okay, your Aadhaar is the main document now, which will be now considered valid as citizenship. Maybe they'll bring an amendment or some sort. And they will make Aadhaar as a valid document to be used everywhere. Already it is. When you buy a land, Aadhaar is needed. When you buy gold, okay, buying gold, Aadhaar is not needed. But yeah, your Aadhaar is again linked with your bank account. It is linked with your PAN account. Then Aadhaar is required when you buy a vehicle. So many things, Aadhaar is the ultimate document. So in the future, they can make it possible. But till then what? Create a system first. Got the point here? All right, people. So in Lal Babu Hussain versus Electoral Registration Officer 95, Supreme Court in that year itself made a observation. Inclusion in the electoral roll creates a presumption of citizenship which can be displaced only by following the procedure prescribed by law. That is, just because I'm in the voters list, it creates an assumption or a presumption that, yeah, I'm a citizen of India. Now to displace this is to remove that thought, what is necessary? You need to create a proper procedure for it. Supreme Court had warned this in 95. And thankfully, no government ever acted on it. Because ultimately, if you see, we have so many other things to sort out, not the citizenship. Citizenship is like the least of our troubles. There are 1,000 other troubles that the government needs to focus on. Citizenship is just one among it. All right. In its judgment, May 27, upholding the constitutional validity of SIR, Supreme Court held that Aadhaar is not proof of citizenship and may be relied upon only for limited purpose of establishing identity. So that is what it is. Aadhaar is only a proof of identity, not proof of citizenship. It is only has limited applicability. Supreme Court further held that the Election Commission determines only eligibility for inclusion in electoral rolls, has no authority to adjudicate citizenship, and a person's citizenship under the Citizenship Act does not cease merely because the person is found ineligible for inclusion in the electoral rolls. So what did Supreme Court say? Supreme Court basically said what I already told you. So just because, let us say, a person's name is not there in the electoral voters list, Election Commission of India said, no, your documents are all fake, you're not a voter, does not mean that Election Commission of India can become the authority to determine citizenship. Yeah, ECI cannot do that. True. ECI can only say he is not a voter. But there is no law stopping the ECI from sharing that information to the government. Government, please come here. These are the list of names that I have deleted from the voters list. Government will take that list, start removing them one by one. That is the prerogative of the executive, especially Ministry of Home Affairs, our dear Motabhai, Amit Shah. Under him comes matters of citizenship. So easily, if they take action over internal security reasons, these people needs to be evicted from the country because they are illegally entered. They don't have any valid document. Even judiciary will not interfere there. If you actually notice, whenever it comes to matters of internal security, country's sovereignty, country's overall threat, Supreme Court will always stand with the government. Supreme Court will never give importance to what? Supreme Court will never give importance. No. It is about fundamental right. It is about India's principles. We are a Gandhian nation. Nothing. Supreme Court will only stand with what? The government of India. Because executive knows it best. Government knows what is safe for the country and what is unsafe. This is the bottom line. Any doubts here? Even foreigners can get Indian passport. Foreigners can get provided under certain conditions only. It is entirely left to the union government. Whether they want to give it to a non-citizen of this country who is settled here, staying here due to some reason, public interest, etc. Though that is an exception. But they can. Is there a provision for it in the law? Yes, it is there. The provision is what? Section 20 of the Passport Act 1967. Even for a non-citizen, you can give it. People, why are you indulging that guy, Karthik? How many times to tell you all? If you have a question to ask, that time you open the chat section. Why are you reading the chats? What is in it for you? Chat is meant for me to read. I am ignoring him, right? Like how his parents have ignored him. Simple. Let him say whatever he wants. See, people who never got respect or attention or love from their family, they are seeking it from me in this 2.5 hour class. I cannot oblige them. Why are you indulging them? Yeah, you can say that way. Population control in India. We don't have to control. It will go down by itself. Don't worry. It is already happening from the state of Kerala. You're already able to see, I'm not sure, a few white hairs here or there. Correct. Kerala is already starting. Within 20 years, Kerala will have the highest percentage of old age population. And as you move, and slowly from south it will start. Old age increasing. Eventually by maybe in another 40, 50 years, we will have a considerable old age population. All right. So moving on now to the next topic. These things, documents and citizenship, passport, Aadhaar, electoral photo, ID card, citizenship certificate. So this is given. Citizenship certificate is only given to those people who gets their citizenship through registration or naturalization. Got the point here? Otherwise, nobody gets it. You and I will not have it. Probably Sonia Gandhi may have it. Sonia Gandhi may have it actually because she was from Italy. I mean, she is from Italy. So she would have got her citizenship only through registration or naturalization. So she may have a certificate with her. All right. For more details on how citizenship is done, please go through Lakshmi Kant citizenship chapter. How you get citizenship. It is given there. Please read through it. That is not current affair. That is a static syllabus. All right. statistical database. Okay, before moving on, all those who are asking how to speak like you, just keep talking, keep reading. Read good English books, watch some good English movies, and start using the language more. Statistical database. What is the statistical database? So, IMF, International Monetary Fund, assigned India a C grade, the second lowest grade for the quality of its national account statistics. Now, what do you mean by IMF? First of all, there are two such agencies that you will keep seeing in the news. One is IMF, the other is World Bank. These are actually sometimes even known as Bretton Woods institutions. Why Bretton Woods institutions? Bretton Woods, why? Because that is the name of the place where these two organizations, they decided, yes, we will form this. Bretton Woods is a place in New Hampshire, USA. And that is where those organizations were made, I think in 1945. IMF and World Bank. All right. What is IMF for? IMF is largely for looking into a country's external debt, or more specifically, external sector. That means what is their import, export, current account deficit. Whereas World Bank looks into internal affairs of country. Now, internal affairs of country, please understand, it is not that World Bank will interfere in India's domestic policies or something. Nah. But World Bank will give loan. IMF also give loan. IMF will give loan when our external sector is in danger. We don't have money to buy crude oil. Like in 1991. History. 1991, we did not have dollars. We had dollars only for 2 weeks. Crude oil. We only had that much amount of dollars to buy 2 weeks worth crude oil. At that time, we had gone to IMF to take loan. And IMF gave the loan. In 10-15 years, we paid it back also. That is another story. Okay. That got over. So, when you don't have money to do any external purchasing, you go to the IMF. But now I want to develop the capital city of Amaravati in Andhra Pradesh. For that, I need money. For that, I took loan from World Bank. How much? $800 million. Yeah, even I am wondering, $800 million means, man, forget a city. You can really almost build a country on that. That is like an initial capital rate. You can literally set up like world-class infrastructure. We need to wait and watch how they are going to use it. Got the point here? I don't understand what you're saying. Then how can I be Indian citizen? Your parents are born in India. Are they Indian citizens? Then by default, you are also an Indian citizen. That's it. You have been residing here. Your forefathers also have been residing here. You have all the documents to prove that. You have 10th standard, 12th standard, everything. Every document is there with you. You are Indian citizen. Period. That's it. All right. Coming back now. Any doubts still here? I am from Andhra, but I don't know about this. Anju, do you know that in Andhra, they sold? Andhra government basically gave at 0.99 rupees per acre for TCS. Like almost like 1 rupee per acre. That is the rate at which Andhra government sold the land to TCS. They are building, literally, let me tell you, they are literally building a state-of-the-art city there. If corruption doesn't happen, great. It will be one model city. It will be one model capital city in India. In South India especially, because compared to Hyderabad, Bengaluru, Chennai, etc., where traffic problems are there, sanitation issue, water logging, etc., are there, Amaravati can become a world-class city if they utilize the money properly. All right, people. So what did IMF say? IMF said that, listen, brother, to India, the way you are reporting your GDP, the way you are reporting your inflation, the way you are reporting your gross value added, all these are what? Archaic. These are not proper as per proper international standards. This downgrade IMF gave to India in last November 2025. Following that downgrade, India decided to what? India decided to make a lot of changes to its data or the way the data is collected. Getting the point here? National account statistics. The Ministry of India has subsequently upgraded its statistical databases relating to national accounts, industrial output, and price indices. What are these? One by one, we will see now. The upgrades improve the timelines, representativeness, accuracy, and coverage of official statistics. Starting with national account statistics. Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation revised the national account statistics in February, that is this year. National accounts include gross domestic product. What is gross domestic product? Total value of all the goods and services produced in a country in a year. All the goods and services produced inside the country. That is gross domestic product. Everything will come under it. Everything. Goods and services. So even this is a service now. Education service. That will come under GDP. Got the point? Gross value added. What is this gross value added? For 10 rupees, I bought a cloth. Stitched a shirt with it. With that cloth. Then I am selling that cloth for, or that shirt for, 2,500 rupees. What is the gross value added GVA? 2,500 minus 10. 2,490. I know this sounds a little bizarre to most of you, but this is how these showroom shirts actually function. Their cost price will be very, very, very low. In fact, it is not 10 rupees, but yeah, it is 50 rupees maximum. The branded shirts I am talking about. Hardly the price is 50 rupees. The cost of it. Selling price is 2,500 or 3,000. Now these days I think 3,000, 3,500 easily. Any decent brand means 3,000 to 3,500. 3,500 minus 50, 3,450. Understand one thing, gross value added does not mean their whole profit, because this only talks about what is the cost of the raw material, what is the final price. It does not talk about the transportation cost. It does not talk about the salaries paid. It does not talk about the showroom that I am taking for rent. None of that. All those costs also, if I factor in, still I may walk away with at least 1,000 rupees profit per unit. Per unit sold, at least I will get that much of profit. Easily. Alright. Everything. Peter England, Arrow, Van Heusen, In fact, the more price it charges, because say for example, there are brands like Louis Vuitton, Chanel, Prada, etc. So Louis Vuitton, etc. For example, one small purse alone will cost you, or a belt will cost you 50,000 rupees for one belt. Very ordinary belt. That is the starting price of it. 50,000 rupees. Starting price. What is its actual cost? Not even 500 it will be there. Not even 500. For the brand, you are paying the money. Gucci, everything, every brand, every major brand. Sector-wise output simply means like what we know. Mining sector, industrial sector, like that. Growth estimates. Growth estimates means what? How much growth the country can make in the future. The contribution of government expenditure. How much government is spending. How much private investors are spending. What is the household consumption and trade to economic growth. Household consumption means what? What does an average household consume? Food, clothing, education, basic services, all of that. Why do people buy these? See, people buy it to show how well they are doing in life. See, you buy an expensive thing only to show to the others that this is what I can afford. This is where I am standing right now. That is the only reason. Other than that, nothing else is there. Base year has been revised from 2011-12 to 22-23. What is this base year? Yeah. Services also. All right. True. What is this base year? Base year simply means reference year. If I want to know whether country's GDP is growing or is it coming down, whether inflation, is it going up or is it coming down, that is the price of goods. I need to compare it, right? I need to compare it with another year, like a past year or something. Got the point? I need to compare it. Now that is what I need to take a year for it, a base year for it, a reference year for it. So in India's case, if you really see, for a very long time, 2011-12 was considered as the base year. That means if I want to see whether the GDP for 2025, if I am calculating, that is last year, I was taking what? 2011-12 as the base year. Got the point? 2011-12 as the base year for calculating the GDP growth in 2025. Now, what is the problem with it? 2011-12, if you actually see, there was no online education. There was no Ola. There was no Zomato. In fact, online, whatever we are spending money these days, none of it was there back then. Correct? Getting the point here. So, it can help calculate inflation rate at any rate. I'll repeat. Point here is base year simply means it's a reference year. I'll tell you. For example, now I want to calculate your performance. How are you performing as a student? Correct. I have given you a certain target. So for example, if I have to evaluate a student's performance, what do I do is I always ask them the mains answer. There's one thing that I keep insisting. Mains answer writing. Because this mains answer writing is the reason I have to somehow keep a straight face while dealing with absolute dash, 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 and dash online. Somewhere I feel if I had practiced mains answer writing properly, I would have been in the service. I wouldn't have had to deal with most of the people here. So that mains answer writing, what do I see? The structure of the answer, etc. Now, when the first answer comes, it will be definitely bad intro, bad body, poor conclusion, all of that will be there. But by the time it reaches probably the 10th answer, I will be genuinely happy. I'll come to that, Alexander. Why? Because I can see the improvement from the first, how much it has been. Correct. I can see that improvement. So what is my base? Base here. This is my base. But what if I take your 10th standard answer as my reference? And on that basis, I start reviewing UPSC mains answer. That is, how was your performance in 10th? Now, how are you performing in UPSC? Doesn't make any sense. Because UPSC's demand is different. 10th standard demand is different. But unfortunately, the simple common sense, our government was not following. Our government was literally doing this only. 2011-12, they fixed as the base for calculating the growth or inflation or whatever it is of 2025-2024. Now, if you ask me what is the reason, when you choose a base year, one of the criteria is that year the prices should have remained more or less stable. And it should be very close also. Closest. Closest in the sense, now 2011-12 when we fixed. 2014, that was an election year. Economy will have a lot of fluctuations. So you won't choose 2014 as a base year. And for 2014, 2011-12 didn't look that different, that much of change. 15 also still okay, only 4 years gap. All right. 16, demonetization. Now we know how much trouble it cost. Economy literally got affected. 2017, you brought in GST. Again, the economy got affected. So you cannot choose 17. So for 17 also, we kept 2011 as the reference point. For us to recover from the combined effect of demonetization and GST, it literally took another 2 years. 18, 19. Both those years, economy was not actually doing great. By 19, end of 19, what do we know? Corona started. 2020, 2021 were Corona years. And needless to mention, 19 was again election year. So for each and every reason, this kept on getting pushed. And to recover from 2021 Corona year, again it took 2 more years for us. So this kept on going. 2011-12 only remained as the stable year there. But finally, after the downgrade of IMF said that what nonsense are you people doing? Because nonsense only. 2011-12 if you take. 2011-12. The goods and services that were there that time. And 2024 if you take. 25 if you take now. The goods and services what are there? They are not equal. Internet was a luxury in 11-12. Karthik, if you're I really wanted to say something, but then obviously, this is the era of social media. I don't want to get famous for wrong reasons. But you really want to grow in your life, man? Like these many people's negativity, what are you gaining? Don't force me to say something. I'm not somebody who will actually chew on my words. I will actually let it out there. What went wrong in your mains answer writing? Did not practice mains properly. Limit is there, na Archana ji. Archana ji, which ji is this? Anju ji. 2025 internet is no more a luxury, because back then if you see 11, 12 and all, 250 rupees was the cost price for 1 GB data. Now for 250 or 300 rupees, you will definitely get somewhere close to, depending upon what plan you're taking, you will get easily somewhere close to 200 GB data, whatever plan you take. Got the point here? So the products, everything are different. So the point here is that for 2011-12 cannot be used as a base year for calculating the GDP in 2025. Got the point? You cannot use it. So you need to keep a year which is closer. This is what the government of India did now. From 2011-12, we have shifted the base year to 2022-23 for GDP. Revised series adopts double deflator method for estimating real GDP growth. Whatever you did, can I make a meme on it? You are asking my permission. Karlo. Was it genuinely justified? Definitely, na Abba. Think about it. See, 2011-12, if you see, Blu-ray disc. I don't know if you are aware of it. It is just normal CD only, but it has little more capacity in terms of memory. The Blu-ray disc was a big deal that time. Now Blu-ray disc is not there. In fact, we are not even paying money for cable channels anymore. Like I don't have any cable TV here. For me, it is YouTube and then what? OTT platforms. That's it. That is what I'm spending money on. But 2011-12, we were still paying money for what? Cable TV. So the products have changed, the tastes have changed, the preferences have changed. Got the point? That is the reason why we need to change the base year. Base year, when you change, you should basically see. So for example, as per 2011-12, if you're taking the product category, CD player, DVD player, even those are there in the list. Who is having a CD or a DVD player these days? Why will you have a CD player? For what joy? Got the point? Now, what is this double deflator method? India was always using a single deflator method. So let us say one chocolate. 2024 input cost ₹50. Output price ₹100. Input cost is 50 of that. That is the manufacturing cost. Output, whatever I'm selling it for. Nominal value added. What is nominal? This is one word which you will keep hearing in economics. Nominal GDP, nominal this, nominal that. Nominal means now. Current value. That means this value addition I have calculated based on the current prices. What is the current price in 2024? 50 rupees input, 100 rupees output. So for that year 2024, the value added into the chocolates were 50. Let us take another year now. 2025. Input is 100 rupees. Output is 150 rupees. Nominal value added. Output minus input is 50 rupees again. That year also. But you can easily see in 1 year the prices have changed. Correct. Now you need to use a double deflator method. I will tell you what that is. These are our values. If I calculate the input inflation, I get what value? 100 divided by 50, 2.0. We generally call it input index. 2 times it has increased. If I am actually calculating similarly, the output index 150 divided by 100, it is 1.5. So how India used to calculate the single. So one common thing I forgot to mention. In both the years, quantity produced is the same. 1,000, 1,000. Both the years. Any doubt still here? All right. Now what India was doing was, India was actually doing single deflation. What is the single deflation? Use only the value of output index to calculate the effect on gross value added. That means, what is my output index? 1.5. So if I am using that single value for the year 2025, adjust input cost. Input cost is how much? 100. Adjusting that value means 100 divided by 1.5. That is 1000 divided by 15. 200. You get 66.67. Use that same value. Adjust output price. What is output price for 2025? 150. So 150 divided by 1.5. What do you get? You get 100. Now if I calculate gross value added, 100 minus 66.67 is 33.33. See, index is like Index is like a factor to find out by what factor prices have increased. Inflation is a general rise in price. Index means I take 2 years, compare the price, and find out by what factor the prices have increased. Got the point? So here what we have done is output index I have taken, I got 1.5. I adjusted the input cost of 2025. So 100 is the input cost, but I need to adjust it for inflation. What is my output index? 1.5. So 100 divided by 1.5 I did. I got 66.67. Then 150 also. Output price of 2025. I am again using output index only. Gross value added is 33.33. I knew this will become a nightmare. Okay. How much is the, what factor is the increase in input prices? 2025, 100 by 50, 2. Output by what factor it increased? 1.5. These two factors are there. Till here, I hope it is clear. Input increased by a factor of 2. Output increased by a factor of 1.5. Now, I need to calculate gross value added. Gross value added, how do you calculate? Output minus input. But what is the thing here? I need to adjust in 2025. I know inflation has occurred. So I need to adjust the price for inflation. How do I adjust the price? I take my input cost. I divide it by what factor the price increased. 1.5. Output, input divided by 1.5, output divided by 1.5. The price is here. Suman, you are right. What you're actually supposed to be doing is, you're actually supposed to divide the input price by input inflation and output price by output index. That is how it is supposed to be done. But we were not doing it. That is what I'm trying to tell you. We were following this bizarre method, which is why IMF was also scratching their head and told, why are you using this? Use the double deflator method, because double deflator method is what? As per double deflator method, you will adjust the input price with input index. So if the input price is 100, you will divide it by 2, you will get it as 50. Output price with output index you will adjust. So what is that? Your 150 divided by 1.5, which is 100. The gross value added would be 100 minus 50, which is 50 again. Whereas here you got how much? 33.33. This is the wrong method what India was following. The right method is input price should be adjusted with input index, which is what 2 we got here. Input price increased by a factor of 2. So I am adjusting the prices, 2025 prices with inflation, 50. Output price also I am adjusting with output index. I got 100. Gross value added is 50. Got the point? Now I will tell you one just thing you see now. Here you got gross value added as 33.33. Whereas actual gross value added is how much? 50. In other words, single deflator method can, depending on the circumstance, either show high growth or low. Okay. Growth high gross value addition or low gross value addition. Any one of this can happen. Because reality is nothing has happened. It underreported it. Actual gross value added, when you see it is 50 rupees. But the old method underreported it by a factor of 17. So you are underestimating your own growth. Purpose of adjusting is to remove the effect of inflation. Remove the effect of inflation. That is what it means. I know for some people this is still going above their head. Adjusting for inflation simply means you are finding out by what factor the overall prices increased. Then adjust that prices for that price increase. Correct. So actual value was 50, but we got it as what 33.33. So what does it mean? You are underreporting your growth. Whereas the international standard is this double deflator method. Because ideally, just think about it. Double deflator method at the end of the day, what it simply means is the calculation, etc. Even if you didn't understand, it is fine. Because most probably 99.99999% it won't be asked in prelims. Double deflator method simply means adjusting input, output. This is what it means. You are adjusting the input with the input index. That is, what is the rise in prices of input? All the things that you use to make your chocolate. For that, what was the price increase in your input alone, in your raw materials alone? That is calculated separately. What was the price increase in your output totally, including transportation, warehouse charges, labor charges, technology, everything. And both when you adjust for inflation like this, you will get the final gross value added or your GDP. Why we were doing so? Because it was easier. See, again, the fact is now this chocolate example, when you take, you will be wondering, this looks so simple. Why will anybody do this? This is so dumb. You may feel it. The reality again is tracking input cost is not easy. That is the main reason. Because see, finally, when a product reaches the market, I know the MRP. Correct. MRP, nobody will have any doubt. Maximum retail price. So I know what is the final price. That is easy for me to calculate. So last year, if a chocolate was 50 rupees and this year it is 75, I can easily use that 50 as a benchmark everywhere. Got the point? That is easy for me. Or to find out the output index, 75 divided by 50. Okay, we got the value. $10, $15, so 1.5. This value I got. Why am I not able to get the input here? That will be in some factory. What is the labor cost there? What is the other costs involved there? That is very difficult to calculate, right? In fact, most of the raw materials or the factories or the units, whatever we have in our country, again belongs to which sector? Informal sector. Most of the industries what we have in our country, they literally do what here? Exploitation of the labor class. Sometimes they won't pay the money. Sometimes they would have kept them under bonded labor. Sometimes they would be making them do slavery. All of that. How do you officially write, okay, I made somebody work for 20 hours, but I paid him only 100 rupees. Will you write it recordically? Absolutely not. But final price of the good, when the final good comes, final price is there. Based on that, I can calculate the output index very easily. This is headache. Because to track input cost means what does it need? You need to register every business in the country. Every business. Only then that input cost will come. You will get clarity on it. Otherwise, no. Any doubts here? Every business this is there. So now we are able to do it. Why I will tell you. See, once GST was brought into picture, businesses started coming under it. And now we are seeing what year on year GST collections are growing. Why is GST collection growing? More and more businesses are registering themselves. Because you have to register now, no other go. Any benefit in taxation you need, you have to register your business. You want to get prices at a discounted rate, you have to register your business. So more registration happens, I will get a better idea about the input cost. Got the point here? So deflator method done. So the revised series incorporates GST. That is what I told you. Now they are including, to find out the GDP, they are covering goods and service tax data. Data from the periodic labor force survey. Why periodic labor force survey? Because from that you will get to know how many laborers are there, how much are they getting paid, and improvements in statistical methodology to reduce discrepancies. Statistical methodology means how you are collecting the data, etc. Sir, is this reason for corruption? Reason for corruption, it's not corruption, but it is basically, like I would say, exploitation at all levels. That is what happens here. Index of industrial production. Yes, there is a change in base here. That is what I told you. Anshika Patel. All right. Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation revised the Index of Industrial Production in June. Index of Industrial Production measures monthly industrial activity. IIP covers manufacturing, mining, electricity, infrastructure, capital goods and consumer goods. Mind you people, this is a frequent area in economics where a question is asked. It's a frequent area. I wouldn't say every year is asked, but every other alternate year, a question from here has appeared. The revised index of industrial production uses 2022-23 as the base year instead of 2011-12. The revised index of industrial production includes gas supply, water supply, sewerage activities, and waste management activities. Revised IIP provides separate data for renewable and non-renewable electricity generation. That means all these new activities, supplying gas, sewage, and then, waste management, renewable energy, non-renewable energy, all these have been brought under the category of industrial activity. Revised IIP provides greater granularity in mineral production. What do you mean by greater granularity in mineral production? That is, rather than saying, mineral production increased by this much, I am going to specifically say iron production increased by what level? Copper production increased by what level? Aluminium production increased by what level? Specifically, I am going to say. That is what you mean by greater granularity. Revised basket contains 1042 products mapped to 463 item groups. Previous series contains 839 products mapped to 407 item groups. This number only you need to note. You need not know what those item groups are. Item group simply means one heading will be there. Minerals. Under that, what and all will come. Mining. Under that, what and all will come. Industries. What and all will come. So earlier it was 839 and 407. Now it is 1042 and 463. Obviously, because we can see more categories have been added into it. Gas supply, sewage, waste management, renewable energy generation, etc. Got the point here? The index IIP data contribute to the estimation of GDP and gross value added. Consumer price index. What is consumer price index? Consumer price index is to calculate what is the price paid by the consumer today. At the consumer level, what am I paying? That is the bottom line. So consumer price index is the best way to know to what extent prices have risen. And consumer price index is basically necessary for what and all purpose? For RBI's Monetary Policy Committee to assess inflation while determining policy interest rate. What does that mean? See, it is ultimately RBI's Monetary Policy Committee that decides what should be the interest rate in banks. So, if RBI feels inflation is high, they will increase the interest rate. Or if RBI feels inflation is low, they will decrease the interest rate. But inflation, how do I get to know whether inflation is happening or inflation is decreasing? That I will get to know from the consumer price index. That is why you need this. So consumer price index is necessary for RBI to decide on its policy interest rate. Policy interest rate means it's the repo rate. You will be studying about this in your economics class. Dearness allowance for serving government employees is linked to inflation. So one of the advantage of being a government employee is that your DA, that will get revised probably every few years. So your salary will keep on increasing when inflation goes on increasing. That is one advantage. That advantage is not generally there with the private sector and all. For example, our dear Narayana Murthy ji will keep telling, I mean, both of them talks about positivity, hard work, etc. He has even went to the extent of talking about working, you should work for your country, work so many hours. He keeps telling that. But he will never increase the starting salary of an engineer in his company, Infosys. That is still kept at some 3.5 or 4 lakhs since the last 10-12 years. That he will never increase. Starting salary only should be that much, because all the profit I want to take, and me and my family, only we should enjoy it. That's his policy. Clear? So dearness allowance for serving government employees, it is there. Central government especially, this is guaranteed. Dearness relief for pensioners is linked to inflation. That is also there. So if you're a pensioner, government pensioner, again, for that also you will get what? Money. Again, sorry, not money. Your pension also will increase when inflation is increasing, because that is calculated again based on this. All right. Real GDP is calculated after adjusting for inflation. Consumer price index base year has been revised from 2012 to 2024. Revised CPS based on the household consumption expenditure survey. 23-24. Number of reporting categories has increased from 6 to 12. Total number of goods and services covered has increased from 299 to 358. Revised CPI includes rural house rent, online media services, compressed natural gas and piped natural gas. These were not part of earlier series. Revised CPI improves the measurement of telephone charges, rail fare, air fare, fuel prices, postal charges. Revised consumer price removes obsolete items. Obsolete means what? Which are no more required. For example, VCR, video cassette recorder. I don't know whether your generation would have seen this. Digital versatile disc players, DVD players, radios, tape recorders, and cassettes. All these have been removed from consumer price index series. Why it has been removed? Who is using it? Whereas online media services people are using, that is why that has been added. In rural areas also people have started giving their houses for rent. That is why that has been added. Compressed natural gas, piped natural gas usage have started. That is why that has been added there. So whatever we are not using, that should be removed. Whatever we are using now, that should be added. This is the reason why you need to keep updating the year. Because what we are using now, 10 years from now, we won't be using it probably. 10 years from now, probably we will be spending more money on what? AI. 10 years from now, there is a possibility that we will all probably in cities at least, we will all buy AI robots. Correct. AI robots as made. Charge it and it will do all the job. No need to tell it anything. It will be standing in the kitchen. The moment it sees, okay, vessels are there in the sink, it will come and start washing it. Future is that. Today, AI robot will probably not be there in the list. 10 years from now, it will be there. Radio, even I use. We use it. But it is not a major purchasing item for most of the people of the country. That is the point. There are many people who buy many things. What we need to see is who buys it in majority. The majority who buys it. Got the point here? Oh, you have seen DVD. You're that old. Very good. Next thing is wholesale price index. Wholesale means what? Whatever you buy it in bulk. India initially used to calculate inflation on the basis of wholesale price index. But later we dropped it and we moved on to consumer price. Why? Because wholesale is wholesale only. You won't get to know at the retail level what is the price. For example, wholesale I can buy maybe onion, mango, vegetables, fruits, all that I can buy. But can I buy PW courses wholesale? Can I book Ola cab wholesale rate? No. Or can I book ticket in a theater at a wholesale rate? No. Those are all like individual payment. That is, you have the money, you pay for the service. You don't have the money, you don't pay. There is no wholesale price, there is no retail price and all. One price is only there. They may give you some discount, that is different. But there is no wholesale price for most of the services that we take. Got the point? That is why wholesale price index is never considered as an accurate measure of price rise. But yeah, it will tell you market level. What is the price situation? How will you include, Shreya? Think about it. Doctor, hospital charges. Can you take a wholesale price for it? It is very individualistic. Based on what services I need, for that only I am going to pay. Service sector, where can you get it wholesale? Think. Just think about it. Tourism. How can you put a wholesale rate? You may say it is between 10,000 to 20,000. This range it is. You want the peak experience, you pay higher. So you can say, let us say now you can travel to Dubai. You can travel to Dubai for 50,000 rupees up and down and you can come back. Possible. There are also people who travel to Dubai by spending 25-30 lakhs. How? Emirates flight, business class, where they serve champagne, 3, 5 or 6 courses of meals, all that, every very luxurious, like the peak of luxury it is. Peak of luxury. If you don't drink and all, then there is no point in traveling in Emirates flight. So that is also there. How do you fix a wholesale price for it? Clear? Wholesale price index base year also has been changed to 22-23. Number of items covered has increased from 697 to 957. Crude petroleum, natural gas shifted from primary articles category to fuel and power energy. Producer price index. Producer price index again calculates what is the price paid by a producer. Who is a producer? Factory owner, industry owner. What is the final price they pay? What is the inflation that they experience? Separately measures the prices paid by producers for inputs and the prices received by the producers for outputs. It will cover both goods and services, obviously. However, government has indicated that the wholesale price index will be phased out over the next 5 years. That is by 2031. WPI will be chucked out. Consumer price index and producer price index will become India's two principal price indices after the phase out of WPI. That will be taken out. Because wholesale price and producer price, if you really see, that is more or less the same thing only. Producer, what is he charging? Producer is someone who gives raw material. Any questions here, people? Yes, CPI includes service, Venkatesh. These contracts would face several legal disputes. No, Shreya, why you should face legal disputes and all? See, it just tracks the wholesale price. But if I already know what are the producers paying for it and how much is the producer selling for it, producer price index is more than enough. Overnight, you're not doing it. You're doing it in 5 years. All right. Overnight, nobody does it. 5 years, we will do it. Slowly, slowly phasing it out. Retail is what you pay and as an individual. Wholesale is where you go to the market and buy it at bulk, where you get it at a lesser rate. Shreya, PDF is there. Download the PDF. It is the link is given in the description. Download the PDF and mark it. That's it. Don't note down anything. Okay, moving on then. So Super El Nino, this has been in news for some time now. So let us understand this very, very clearly. I want your attention here. I have some water. I had. Thank you. This is your Pacific Ocean. That is Asia. This is South America. So as per this description, this is East. This is West. This is your Pacific Ocean. Don't go by what is there in the map. Map, if you take Australia, etc., comes in the eastern side. South America, etc., comes on the west. But what am I taking here as my reference point? Pacific Ocean. In that Pacific Ocean, South America comes on the east. Asia, Australia, etc., comes on the west. Output index. Output index measures the inflation. By what factor inflation or price rise has happened in the output prices. Any issues here? This you understood? Anybody? Europe is not melting just because of El Nino. Europe is melting overall because of the climate change that is there. Okay. So now generally what happens is El Nino develops when the trade winds over the equatorial Pacific weaken. What is trade wind? Can anybody tell me? Trade wind. Thank you, Anurag. Trade wind. Anybody? Geography. Cool phase of El Nino southern oscillation climate pattern. Trade winds. Just tell me trade winds now. There is total radio silence. What happened? Easterlies. The winds that blows from east to west. Okay. Around the equator they blow. Correct. Around the equator these winds blow. Now, normally when they blow in this east-west direction, they are also supposed to do what? So normally these trade winds are supposed to push warm waters here. Because they are moving in the east-west direction. Warm waters are supposed to be pushed towards where? The west. But because the climate change is happening. Global temperatures are rising. Global temperatures are rising. What happens? This trade winds gets weakened. So warm water doesn't move from east to west. Instead, what happens? So this is how it is supposed to happen normally. Instead, that is, the east-west movement will push the warm waters towards this region. But because of global warming, trade winds, when it gets weakened, warm water starts accumulating where? In the eastern Pacific. That is near the South American region. Here the warm water accumulates. As the warm water here, it starts accumulating here, the trade winds becomes all the more weak. Why? Because this is a low pressure region. So low pressure regions means here the wind, here the air also will be very hot. So it will not move at all. Wind always blows from where? Regions of high pressure to low pressure. Already when a low pressure region develops, there is no further wind to move in this direction. That means trade winds got weakened because of global warming. Warm water accumulates here because of that. This will further weaken the trade wind. It creates like a loop. Got the point? Anjuji, it is not about syllabus. Current affairs is always about, it is the fastest way to get to know what is the syllabus of UPSC. Current affairs is never taken or taught according to what is UPSC syllabus is, based on how much has been covered in class. This is the fastest way where you get exposed to different subjects. Keep all this in mind. Later, when your faculty will teach you all this, economics, what I have taught you here, that also your faculty will teach you. So you are in queue. Wait. So now what happens? Now normally how it is? Normal conditions. Normally, like I told you, trade winds will blow. Trade winds will push the warm water here. It will create an area of low pressure where? In the Asian side. And what did I tell you? Winds are always attracted to region of low pressure. So when the southwest monsoons arrive, low pressure here, low pressure in India also, they come directly and hit India and the surrounding neighborhoods. We get excellent rain if normal conditions are there. But in this side, this is normal condition. Low pressure develops in the Asian side region. Southwest monsoon gets attracted. We get good rain. Normal. Ulta scenario is what now? What is happening because of El Nino? This region here, where high pressure was supposed to be there, there you are having what? There you are actually having low pressure. So what happens now? This region compared to this is going to be cold. Compared to this, it is going to be cold. So what will happen to the monsoons in India? It will weaken. Got the point here? It will weaken. Why is this? And this effect, what is effect is called El Nino. Based on the temperature difference. That is, the sea surface temperature anomaly of 0.5 to 1.0 degrees Celsius. That is, if the sea surface temperature is only some slight increase of 0.5 to 1.0 degrees Celsius is there, we call it a weak El Nino. But if the temperature rises from 1 to 1.5, moderate, strong is 1.5 to 2, very strong El Nino is what? More than 2 degrees Celsius. That is, let us say normally the temperature is supposed to be 27 degrees Celsius. But sea surface temperature has gone up to 31 degree, 32 degrees Celsius and all. Then you are going to get what is called a super El Nino. I'll come to that. Kammel Aradhan. I'll come to that. All right. Moving on. This I explained. Now, what did I tell you? El Nino has developed. There is a very strong low pressure along the South American region. That is the Eastern Pacific Ocean. A strong low pressure is there. There is a very good chance that monsoon will reduce. Correct? But there is a savior here. What is that savior? It is called Indian Ocean Dipole. What is this Indian Ocean Dipole? Now, Indian Ocean, you know. Indian Ocean stretches from like Africa to this side. Correct. In that Indian Ocean, if on the western region you have warm water, eastern region you have cold region, relatively cold, then what will happen? Again, the winds which cross the equator from Africa, already because India's summer has heated up the peninsula region, etc., and there is a low pressure here also. Those cold winds are, those southwest monsoons will easily get attracted here. Indian Ocean Dipole simply means the difference in temperature on the western pole and eastern pole. Western side is warmer, eastern side comparatively is colder. Western side is warmer. Very good rainfall you will get. So even if it is an El Nino, still you will get good rainfall. But right now, Indian Ocean Dipole is also weak. Thanks to global warming again, because there is hardly any temperature difference between east and west. And this eastern side is getting warmed up compared to the western side. What will be the bottom result again? In this area, you will end up getting more rainfall. That is the Indonesian region and all. India will end up getting less rainfall. That is this year as well as the next year, we can literally expect very low rainfalls. Now, June month, we got less rainfall only than what is expected. But we'll have to wait for July and August to fully know to what extent this El Nino and Indian Ocean Dipole has created their cumulative effect in the monsoon season in India. When does it start? Why does it happen like this? Nobody knows. Only once it starts, we can see, okay, this has started now. Based on what? Temperature. But what is the single most reason directly reading? That is, okay, this is the reason for El Nino. You cannot establish it. Generally, you can say global temperatures are rising. Sea surface, seawater temperature is rising. That is there every year. Seawater temperature rise is happening. But every year, do we have El Nino? No. Only some years you have. Every year, do we get the benefit of Indian Ocean Dipole? No. Only some years we get. Any questions here? See, 0.5 degrees Celsius making an impact, Nova, you must understand, it is not just for one small area. A whole ocean is getting warmed up by 0.5. Got the point? Whole ocean. So, see, I'll tell you. Slowly, if I am going to increase the temperature, you won't feel it. Slowly, if I increase the temperature, that is, you come from outside, you sit inside an AC room, the temperature was 24, I slowly, or 23, from 23 I increase it to 23.1, 23.2, 23.3, slowly I increase it, you won't feel the difference. That is the point. But there is a tipping point again. Maybe once the temperature starts hitting 30, 31 and you start sweating very badly, that time you'll be like, oh my God, I'm sweating. What is this? The AC is not working. Correct. At 30, 31, when you literally started feeling uncomfortable only, you got up. But the uncomfort has started from the time I set the temperature to 25, 26. But you would have been thinking, hey, no, AC is still working, everything is fine. But I am going on increasing the temperature. Got the point here? Tipping point was 31. 31, you got angry. I'm sweating here. Got the point? But the action has started from where? The moment the temperature crossed 25. Same thing with global warming. See, we are now, even now we are feeling, hey, it's okay, everything is fine. You go and ask Delhi people also, hey, everything is fine, media is exaggerating, there is nothing wrong with the air here. That is what they would say. People are exaggerating, there is nothing wrong with the air. We are all breathing air, right? Why? Every year the air quality deteriorated. Now, even though they are literally inhaling poison, they don't realize it. They have got used to it. It is not interaction, you can call it. It is basically like, see, the point here is that my map would be very pathetic. So bear with me. I don't have the skills of your geography faculty. The Tropic of Cancer. Okay. And then somewhere south of it, you have the equator. And let us say this is your South America. Now the point here is, because of El Nino, what is happening? This region here is hot. This region is hot. So, whichever winds crosses the equator and they try to approach India, the southwest monsoon, because they are covering this direction, they can get attracted towards the low pressure here. That is the point. Ideally, where it should have developed, let me mark it as Australia also, just in case. Ideally, it should have developed where? This region. Why? Western Pacific. Pacific Ocean's western side. There the low pressure should have come. The low pressure was present there. And we also know the summer months here. A low pressure would develop in India also. And in this Tibetan belt also. So the combined effect of this low pressure, the entire low pressure here, the wind will move in that direction. On top of this, if you have a hotter western Indian Ocean, which is even more hotter, even more easily it will go. This is the ideal condition for India. Ideal condition. But if this develops, if this is there, if this develops, like I told you, wind has a tendency to move in this direction. But if IOD is there, where so east, so this is getting heated up means what? This region is colder because here it is getting warmed up. Here it is getting warmed up. The Western Pacific Ocean is cooler, comparatively cooler. All right. So what is the only factor That will pull the southwest monsoon here. IOD. What is IOD? Your Indian Ocean, Western Indian Ocean is warmer than Eastern Indian Ocean. So that will negate the effect. So winds will still be pulled here. But if this is super strong and this is also weak, why this will become weak? Because again, global warming. If this temperature difference is not much, wind will not go in this direction. All the wind will go here. We will get less rainfall. Indian Ocean Dipole. Maria, please download the PDF from the description. All the explanations are given there. Please refer to. He's a very good faculty. Why Pacific Ocean, not South Atlantic Ocean? Atlantic Ocean generally comes between Europe and North America, right? Not there. We are talking about Pacific Ocean, the ocean between South America and Australia, Asia. Madden-Julian oscillation. Okay, that is another topic. It is also a factor that influences monsoon, but not a main factor. Main players here are El Nino and its cooler version, which is La Nina. La Nina is good for India. La Nina means what? Here it is very cold. Instead of being very warm, it becomes very cold, which is good for India. La Nina. Number 3 is Indian Ocean Dipole. All right. So another impact that this thing creates is when El Nino is there. As I told you, in the case of El Nino, when it is there, so this low pressure, as it intensifies further and further, okay, as you can clearly see, South America now, this becomes warmer and warmer. Whenever you have that is South America, this is Pacific Ocean, and this region here is becoming warmer. Wait, I'll just mark it off also. Okay. South America, Asia. Now, this is becoming warmer. When it becomes warmer, what happens is, you have a region of low pressure now. And what did I tell you? Whenever low pressure is there, winds from the surrounding areas will start coming towards it. Colder winds. From all the directions, it will start coming. Now, this is roughly a region in the Pacific Ocean. More warmer it is, more winds will come. To those of you who have already studied geography, you would have heard of a force called Coriolis force. What is Coriolis force? Because of Earth's rotation. Alright, Earth is rotating. Because of that, there is a force that acts because of Earth's rotation. In other words, you may throw something straight, but it will have a curve to it. It will get deflected slightly. Not just in South America, that entire Pacific region will have very high regions of low pressure developing. All right. Yes, La Nina, opposite of El Nino. Force generated by Earth's rotation. Very good. If that is the case, can anybody tell me in what direction the wind will deflect in the northern hemisphere? So normally, if no other force was there, wind will move in straight direction only. Region of high pressure, wind will come to the region of low pressure in straight direction. But because of Earth's rotation, there will be a slight deflection to it. Wind will move slightly towards the right. Right, it will move. So what happens? Moving towards the right means a slight deflection. Instead of this, it will be this. This. Can you see a motion happening here? A circle forming. Anti-clockwise. Got the point? Cold winds coming and pushing the warm winds up. Warm wind is rising. And as these cold winds come, they are also getting heated up. They keep getting pushed up. This can create what you call a typhoon or a cyclone. Correct, Maunika. Now this, when it forms in the sea, nothing to worry because it is at the sea. And it will keep thriving for literally it can go for days together. Because energy is what? The energy is the low pressure region here, the warm water here. That will keep getting warmed up, it will rise. These cold winds will keep pushing it up again. So plenty of energy it has. And it will slowly start moving. And which direction it will be moving, nobody can predict. That is why you need satellites to keep track of cyclone formation. And once it is formed, anybody can see it from space. Why? Because literally it will look like this. A center will be there and surrounding it clouds etc. will be moving. The moment it hits the land, you will get intense rainfall, even winds up to the speed of 250 km per hour. So as it approaches the land, what happens? Slowly it starts losing its energy. Why? Because it needs water. From land you won't get water. It hits the land, you call it a landfall. It has made a landfall, means the cyclone has hit the land. It will cause plenty of destruction. So when El Ninos are there, this low pressure regions are formed. It can cause typhoons etc. in that Pacific Ocean. And if it hits any land in that vicinity, it will cause damage. Got the point here? Any doubts? India largely gets it from Indian cyclones. If you generally see, they generally form along the mostly it forms in the Bay of Bengal region, almost. That is why you will always have these Chennai floods, Odisha floods, etc. Andhra flooding in that region. That generally happens from the Bay of Bengal cyclones only. And thanks to global warming now, earlier Arabian Sea, when we were preparing for UPSC, Arabian Sea never used to have cyclones. But global warming has resulted in what? Even cyclones forming in Arabian Sea also. This nobody can predict it. Got the point here, people? One last leg of this is there, but that will take time. Very short topics I will explain very quickly. Fake patents in India are on the rise. And the main reason for that is people are filing patents for almost everything that is, for example, UK and Australia. They are the main villains here. Main villains, I will tell you why. Education companies are selling inventorship positions to academics. What is inventorship? Telling that we invented something. We have invented something. Would you like to buy it from us? And Indian academics are buying it. This has been reported in UK, Australia and India. That is, what are they doing is designs will be there. Some small invention will be there. UK is selling it, Australia is selling it. Indian education institutions are claiming, buying them and filing patent. Just to show that we have filed these many patents. Because based on that, you will get ranking. Your ranking of your educational institution, of your university or your college, that will improve. What should be actually taken into consideration? See, 100 patents anybody can file. 100 patents you filed. In that 100, only 2 will be there, which is commercially viable. What do you mean by commercially viable? Commercially viable means in that 100 patents, only 2 are there which you can actually produce, put it for sale. The rest of it are all just some project work, something like a school project work. There is no commercial viability to it. Idea is good, but commercially you cannot manufacture it. So according to the article again, what is commercially viable, only that should be counted. Whereas Indian colleges and universities, what they are doing is, Indian colleges and universities, they are simply trying to increase the number of patents filed so that they get better ranking. So India is again taking the lead in what? Fake patents in academia. Super El Nino has fixed location or not, sir? It is not a fixed location. You generally call it Super El Nino tends to occur when there is abnormal levels of warm water along the Eastern Pacific. Exactly. Galgotia University, best example. 2,297 patents. And we know what was their quality of their projects, what they brought in the seminar. All right. Then, quoting fake AI cases. Believe it or not, judiciary, National Company Law Tribunal. Now, a tribunal simply means it is a specific court to deal only with specific cases of a certain nature. For example, Central Administrative Tribunal. What is their job? They will look into all the cases of transfer, posting, suspension, etc. Or basically all service related matters of central government employees and all India service employees. That is their job. So if you get tomorrow into the service and if you feel that you have been transferred unnecessarily, you can go and file a petition in Central Administrative Tribunal. I have an issue with some environmental related issue here. Let us say in Bangalore, I will go and file a petition where National Green Tribunal. I have an issue with maybe I'm running a business and my business needs to be filed, a bankruptcy or some cases there. Where will I go for that? Company Law Tribunal. So like that, there is a separate tribunal for or courts to deal with an exclusive matter. Okay. What is the comedy here that has happened is the tribunal quoted a case that based on this case, we are giving this verdict. Nothing wrong with it. The only problem is the case that they quoted. They took it from where? From ChatGPT or something. They would have Googled it and they would have typed it over there that we need some cases and ChatGPT gave them some cases. They took it and they quoted it. Case quoted by ChatGPT doesn't exist. Got the point here? That means that case itself is not there. It was simply generated by ChatGPT. ChatGPT, if anybody says ChatGPT doesn't have an imagination, they are wrong. ChatGPT created a case name. ChatGPT put a year also for it. ChatGPT put a verdict also for it. When Supreme Court was finally looking at it, Supreme Court was like, what the hell? That case itself doesn't exist. Got the picture here? This is not the first time. This has happened earlier also. In front of the court, in Supreme Court only, some judge was arguing a case, gave a list of cases. Now the learned judges who are sitting there, they obviously would, they won't be that level dadus, right? That somebody quotes a case and they are like, which case is this? And again they ask the advocate, which case are you quoting? So they said this case. So for judiciary, they have it, unlike, so if we have to Google something, if I have to Google, okay, Keshavananda Bharati case, I'll put it in Google. But for judiciary, they have their own exclusive search engine is there. Exclusive it is there. There if you type the case name or the case detail or the number, case FIR number or something, if you type in there, you will get the full details. They typed it, it is not there. Then they asked the advocate, from where did you quote this? ChatGPT. This is the level. So that is why I am telling you, even when you are preparing, for the love of God, don't depend on ChatGPT or Gemini. Instead, what do? You put it in Google. You put it in Google, and under the Google search engine, I have told this up to a number of times, still I will say AI is there, all is there, images, news is there. Click on news. You will get all the news links for that particular topic that you are searching. Only trust that. Don't trust ChatGPT, don't trust Gemini. They will generate from their own creativity. Got the point here? That is one. Protection to judiciary, this is to do with that very recent case. So one judge had actually sent cow vigilantes to life imprisonment, conviction for lynching of truck driver Sheikh Lala Nazir Ahmed. So a group of people stopped a truck. They pulled the driver out, telling that you are insulting Gomada, that Mada, this Mada karke. They killed him. A mob killed him. Case went to the court. Judge basically gave a verdict. What is the verdict she gave? The judge gave? All those people who were involved in the crime gave them life imprisonment. Now the thing is, the judge who gave this also verdict, her religion also happens to be what? Muslim. Now that is not a relevant case. That is, whether she is a Muslim, whether she is a Hindu, it is irrelevant. Ultimately, you went and killed an innocent fellow. You ganged up together and went and killed an innocent guy. Now let us say even if he was smuggling the cow, whatever it is, you can stop the truck, call the cops, get him arrested. Get an FIR filed. Instead, you took the law into your own hands And somebody who is traveling, transporting cow, buffalo, whatever, it is not that it is their ambition, right? They are also struggling to survive. Only because he was a Muslim named guy and he was having some cows in his truck, they killed him. They killed the only breadwinner of a family. Case came before the judge. Judge did the right thing because an innocent man was killed. Gave them life imprisonment. Because this shouldn't happen again. Now, after the verdict came, what happened? The judge started receiving death threat. Their judge started receiving death threat. In fact, another judge also was killed. Say, for example, in August 9, 2021, transferred investigation into Judge Uttam Anand's death to CBI. So many cases are there. August 6, 2021, CJI, Chief Justice of India, expressed concern over increasing threats and intimidation. That is, judges are now facing threats, direct threats, before giving a verdict. So any sensitive case comes, judges are not ready to take up those cases now. Judges are doing what we call recusing themselves. Recuse means what? No, I won't hear this case. And they will basically say some reason for it. This reason I don't want to do, because they are afraid. You give a verdict, you start facing death threat. If judiciary itself starts facing death threat now, imagine the scenario. Where are we headed to as a democracy? So already a case is under consideration. A pending suo motu case is there with the Supreme Court on safeguarding judges from pressure, intimidation, threats and violence. This was initiated after death of Additional District and Sessions Judge Uttam Anand, Dhanbad District, Jharkhand, 2021. He died after being hit by a vehicle during his morning jog. Got the point here? So this case is still under investigation. And a petition is also there. Suo motu, Supreme Court is also considering how to improve the security and safety of the judges in the country. That means this article is not over. It will come back again when finally Supreme Court takes a call on it, and finally when CBI gives a final clarity as to what happened actually to the judge Uttam Anand. Clear? This I will explain to you in the next class. This is also a big article. That is also equally big. Yeah. 2-3 articles are pending. It's quite big again. I'll explain it to you next class. Any questions here, people? Current affair class is over. What is the ultimate goal? Whose goal? In what context are you asking that question? V. Raja Durga. BTech second year you are in. Vineet, if you are giving your attempt in 2029, please go for the Prarambh 2029 3-year batch. That will be best for you. Yep, 9:40 p.m. 2 hour. We started at what time? 7 o'clock, right? 2 hour 40 minutes. IAS बिना पढ़े कैसे बने? वाह. बिना पैदा हुए कैसे जिए? You show me that. Then I will tell you. What went wrong in your mains answer writing? I did not practice it enough. I told you already. I did not practice it enough. Enough answers writing I did not do. I kept on studying. Because you will feel, let me save on this time. Let me read more knowledge. Then I will be able to write. Never happens. Limited knowledge, maximum writing. So that when you see the question, you should start writing. Thank you, Abba. Thank you, Suman. Main reason for decrease in value of rupee. We import a lot. That is the main reason. Last class, I think I had taken it. Last to last class. So our import bill is very, very high. Because of crude oil, coal, gold, electronics, natural gas, and even few chemicals. These items. How to improve English? Please try to wear a UV resistant glass. I am also thinking about it. I am doing fantastic. Keep speaking the language. So should I start reading newspapers as I'm going to start my preparation, or watch your current affairs video? Vineet, but ideally you're supposed to be reading the newspaper, but because you don't have the time for it, and even if you read the newspaper again, you are not going to retain that information until and unless you are Swami Vivekananda's relative, or you have already achieved higher state of nirvana. So what I would suggest to you is, please visit my current affair class, download the PDF, keep reading it 4-5 times. That's it. What techniques can we use? There are no techniques, there are no tips, no strategy. Only one plain old strategy. Current affairs, my PDF, monthly current affair compilation. Read it at least 5 times. Number 2, visit PYQs. Find the common topics in both. That is a topic what I have taken here. You find it in PYQ also. Then write its answer. This is what you will do. Answer writing based on current affairs. By writing the answer for a previous year question based on the latest data, latest articles. Good night. Thank you, Vidhi Gaudam. For CA, for state PSC, what should I follow for means? Same thing you can follow. Same whatever I'm taking here. In 12th class, museum history, how to start your Gajendra Singh, Gajendra Singh. You wanted to crack why you want? You wanted to crack UPSC without studying, right? You show me how you will crack 12th without studying first. Then we will see. 12th तो clear कर लो पहले, बाद में देख लेंगे. What possible reasons judge gives? A judge can give any reason because there is no law stopping them from recusing themselves. They will give some reason, medical reason, health reason, family reason, any reason. Online or offline is best. That is upon you. What you want. You want the whole mahol, the feeling that you want to sit in between 100 students and feel, okay, all are studying for UPSC. I should also study. Offline is best. You want to, like, okay, budget is not there, but you are like a very disciplined guy. You will attend all the classes properly. Go for online. That's nice to know, Shreya. Very flattering, but thank you. Should we practice answer writing PYQs for answer writing? Yes. Advita. Glad to know. बताओ तो सही. नहीं बताऊंगा गजेंद्र सिंह. आपने इतना खतरनाक सवाल पूछा ना, नहीं बताऊंगा. एवरीथिंग वर्क्स बोथ द वेज ब्रदर. ऑफलाइन में था तो आई वुड हैव फ्राइड यू. अभी ये ऑनलाइन है. हाँ, आप मुझे पकाओ बनाने की कोशिश की. क्या मैं बना नहीं सकता आपको? क्या ऐसे मत बोलो. हाउ टू बिल्ड डिसिप्लिन एंड कंसिस्टेंसी. Discipline and consistency. Get busy with your life. What else to say? Love from Kashmir. Glad to know that. I can't submit my answers. I cannot do anything. So the tribunal is there for interstate conflicts like about river water. River water, it is not river water tribunal you don't have. You have a board is there. River water disputes board is there. Technical body it is. Whatever decisions they give, it is binding. Appeal will not lie even with Supreme Court when it comes to river water issue. Whereas a tribunal verdict, you can take the appeal to High Court, from there to the Supreme Court also. Suggestions to stop decline in value of rupee. Increase our exports. Reduce dependency on crude oil, which currently the government is doing from E25, E50, then E100. Coal, instead of coal, we are going for solar. Gold, there is no replacement. Electronics also, there is no replacement. The only thing that we can do is we can do make in India. Natural gas, instead of natural gas, we can encourage biogas. chemicals, etc. We need again more domestic suppliers. These are the few things that you can do. When did you post the monthly current affair? Monthly current affair, I am not posting. I'm only posting the weekly current affair. Monthly current affair, you can take it from any academy. PWs, it is there. Other academies are also there. More or less, it will be the same content. Good night, Farooq. We will not give water to Pakistan. China will not give water from Brahmaputra to the downstream. Who said? Nothing like that. China keeps Pakistan like a dog. For China, Pakistan is only a mad dog, which it has on its leash. So when China says, "Oi, Kato, Kutta will come and bite India." When China says, "Stay," Pakistan will stay. Please understand, China does not have a relationship with Pakistan like how India has it with Russia. For China, just to irritate India, they need somebody. That is why they kept a rabid dog tied to their chain, and that is Pakistan. So just because India is denying it to China, Brahmaputra will be denied. Nothing like that. Because Brahmaputra, that much of river is coming down. For China, they have to let it open. Because that river is such a strong river. If they try to keep it, holding it in China, all their dams will burst open. So they have to let that water come in. That is the comedy there. What is the method to understand demand of the CSE preparation? Go through the previous year question paper. Lawyers, are they penalized for citing fake AI generated precedents? I don't think so. No, nothing is there. Shlok, see, that is the point here. Rainfall reduction, when we say it is there, it is not that there will be a total reduction in rainfall. What you will also see is unpredictable rainfall will come. That is, generally, wherever you are supposed to be getting rain, there you won't get rain. But in some other places where you are not even expecting rain, there it will rain for continuous. See, you must understand there is a whole water bank. It is like a bank of water. Let's say, imagine a bank. Water is there. Water has got evaporated. El Nino. It has gone into the atmosphere. Now it should rain somewhere, right? It will rain, but it won't be at places where we are expecting. That's the point. It will become very unpredictable. With other batches, that nothing like that will happen. It was just that the prelims got over. For till prelims, that was the thing. We had kept it. That is the reason. Till prelims got over, so that is till prelims we were supposed to keep it. After that, after March again, it again dependent. It was dependent on the what is it? How many students would have cleared, etc. So that is how we had decided. So it is not with CCA. It is not like that. With other batches, you won't have that issue. So you can go ahead and subscribe to it. CCA was more to do with like a continuous current affair class it was. Whereas other batches, whatever you talk about, Praram, Titan, Pinnacle, you have a steady syllabus, you know these many chapters are there, these many subjects are there, all of that will be covered. Working professional plan for UPSC. Better take up a any online course. That is what I would tell you. Don't do that self preparation ka, what is it, mistake you don't do. Because it is very difficult to stay disciplined, especially if you're working. You'll feel tired, etc. So you yourself have to sit and study and all that. So based on when you are giving your attempt, if you have 3 or 4 years with you, go for Praramp. You'll only have very less classes. If you want to give it in 2 years, take Pinnacle. Next year is do or die for you. Then take up Titan. Manoj Kumar, is the gold price decline due to new mine in Andhra Pradesh? Nothing like that, Manoj. It all depends upon international pricing, international demand. Gold is not a commodity only bought by Indians. It is bought around the world. So what is the overall demand of gold? Based on that, the price will be there. Demand reduces, price will reduce. Demand increases, price will increase. CAPF AC, please visit the previous year question papers of last 5 years. That is the best way. CAPF assistant commandant, as far as I know, one of the difficult area will be that writing part. I think you are having some 3 or 4 sections where you have to write like essay types answers. So see what are the themes, what are the repeated themes asked in it. I think education related one topic will be there, health related one will be there, security related one topic will be there, then economy related one topic. Like that 4 or 5 themes are there which they will keep asking. So you need facts and data for it, collect it. Titan Pinnacle new batch, which subjects you will be teaching other than current affairs? I'll be handling polity and governance. We can use this for SSC CGL. SSC CGL, it is more objective. I wouldn't ask you to sit and attend this. For SSC CGL, prioritize maths and English section. See, only you have current affairs as 25 questions in your GS part, tier 1. In that 25 questions, 3 or 4 questions max to max you will get from current affairs. Rest of it will be from science and technology, history, geography, polity. All these subjects are there. Glad to know that, Harshita. Any suggestion for NDA aspirants? What suggestion? Any exam you are going to prepare, know about your exam first. What different stages are there? What different levels are there? What is the expectation from each stage and each level? For NDA, again, it is the interview that matters, SSB interview. So what are the stages in it? What questions can come over it? Study all this from the internet and go prepared for it. But is it really good? Shlok Mahajan, is it good or bad? We don't know. Now, basically, you would have seen so many videos out there. Some people are telling, I bought 60 lakh car, so my car is suffering. I bought an Innova, my Innova is suffering, etc., etc. You would have heard. If that is the case, by now all the vehicles would have stopped working. Correct. The road should be empty now. And the service centers should be filled with 50, 60, 70, like cars after cars should reach the service center, where the service centers are like putting their hand on their head and like, we don't even have the parts for it. We have ordered for the parts and the parts are yet to come. Because we are using ethanol blended fuel, not now. It is going on since at least last 6 months. I'm not joking. It is going on. Government has made it official right now. That's it. Government has started the mix long time ago. Getting the point here. So, I don't know. My vehicle is still running. Only thing that I have discovered in my vehicle is its mileage has dropped, which is a direct reflection of the ethanol blending. At least since last 2-3 months, I have noticed this. There is a drop in my mileage. That is there. But other than that, with regard to functioning and all, no. Issues are not there. PSIR best books name. My optional is public administration. It's not PSIR. Don't you feel tired? Actually, I am not, but feeling very hungry. Which is the easiest way to understand climate change? Ramavat, I would suggest you one book. Tata McGraw-Hill's book is there. Geography. Please, but that you can refer. That is a book which even I refer for my this thing. What is it? Any geography related doubt, even if I have. Because current affairs is one subject where you literally need to know every subject. Every subject gets covered here. So current affair faculty means you are literally a faculty for all the GS subjects. So when I also get a doubt, I actually pull up that I usually use that textbook only. That you can refer. Lots of diagrams, explanation, everything is neat in that book. Tata McGraw-Hill publication, Geography. 2027 के लिए आपकी CA class and monthly magazine enough. From current affair perspective, that is enough. But please focus on just at biryani. How dare you? But for current affairs perspective, that is enough. But having said that, let me tell you again, focus maximum on GS subjects. All right, focus maximum on GS subjects. Because that is where the chunk or the majority will come. Has monsoon arrived at your place? Bangalore, it is such romantic weather. It is perfect for every other activity other than studying and teaching. In India, what is the best profession with respect to you? Best profession, I don't know. But if you ask me any profession where you are enjoying the job and getting paid well, that is the best profession. So if you really ask me an honest opinion, pani puri, chai wala, those are the best profession. Be a good pani puri seller, chai wala seller. I mean, very limited risk, very little investment. Don't do any major jugaad. Sell a decent chai means people will take car and come to drink your tea. If your tea is that good. That's the bottom line. I've already explained the delimitation commission. I've already done it. See, it is not about BJP government wanting to do it. Even if BJP government doesn't do it also, see, I'll just summarize it to you. Say for example, there are 550 MPs in Lok Sabha. Okay, currently. In that only 20 MPs are there in Kerala. Kerala only has 20 MPs. So currently, as per the current trend, do you think anybody, if BJP wins Kerala, it will automatically mean that BJP will win in Lok Sabha? No. Or if Congress wins all 20 seats in Kerala, does it mean they will win here? No. Or in other words, Kerala as a state, even now or later also, will not play any role in deciding who will form the government in parliament or at the union level or central level. So Kerala's number, seats you increase, you make it 30, you make it 40, still doesn't make any sense. Kerala will never decide the national politics. National politics will continue to be governed by few large states. UP, MP, Rajasthan, Maharashtra. Yeah, maybe these big states. They will decide. That is the bottom line. Their numbers are always high. So from 3 or 4 states, when the election results are out, I can say basically, okay, where the election is now headed to, in which direction it is going to. This is the bottom line. So when the southern states say, we won't be able to decide anything, arey bhai, you never used to decide earlier also. You never had the power before also to decide who will rule India. You only had 20 MPs. Now why are you sitting and crying? You were never a decision maker. Now if it increases by 30, in other states also it will increase. Why are you sitting and crying when you never had that power? Nice to know that, Ashwin. Which option is best for higher cutoff? Any optional which you like. Removal of PM CM bill will be introduced soon. We'll have to wait and watch. De-dollarization simply means you are trying to replace dollar as a currency of transaction with other currencies. So it could be euro, it could be Russian ruble, it could be Chinese yen, Chinese yuan, anything. The longest screen time I had since last 2 years. Congratulations, Shreya. Yes, correct. By Pallavi Saxena. What to say about West Bengal after seeing so many negative news? What negative news? The last news that I heard was Mahua Moitra got eggs thrown on her. If you are interested in it, how to manage B Pharmacy and UPSC, join for any online class. Love you too, Uttam. AIR 1 in your reaction. I don't know. I'm fantastic. How can tensions affect the Indian economy? Middle East tensions. You saw now crude oil prices. Every time when a Middle East tension occurs, crude oil prices increase, natural gas prices increase. Are you Malayali? Ade, Malayaliyana. Shlok Mahajan, you both are preparing for UPSC. There are only 4 possibilities for it. 1, you clear the exam, you may marry her. May. Or once you get a nice, better offer in terms of dowry, etc., you will go behind that girl. Number two, she clears, you don't clear. 99% she will marry somebody else. Number three, both of you clear. Very rare, but yeah, you may marry. Number four, both of you don't clear, both of you struggle in life. Eventually, it will lead to a very bad breakup. That's it. These are the four possibilities. Rest is left to you. Do you know Telugu? Meeku arthamatunda? That's it. That's all that I know from Telugu. It is not easy, Om Gayatri, Mata, to do Telugu, to do de-dollarization. There are not many currencies you can do it that easily. Trishur. How to stick to a daily routine. Get into a job. Harihar Sudhana, see, it is not that mapping questions are always there. See, these are what trend UPSC will repeat this year, did this year. Next year, don't expect it. So this year, if they had less polity, next year you may have 12, 15 questions in polity where all the, at least 7 or 8 will be very difficult. This year, if they ask too much of current affairs, next year they will not ask current affairs. They may ask just 5 or 6. The UPSC will keep changing. Push-ups, best way. See, I have seen to Shlok Mahajan and everybody. I'm telling you from my experience here. I have not seen a single couple getting united after their UPSC preparation. Not a single one of them. Every relationship that I have seen, that I have heard, that I have known, all ended in very bad breakups. Brutal breakups. Both of them ended blaming each other. Because of you, I didn't clear. Because of you, you wasted my life. You did this, you did that. It ended up. So my advice to you all is please stay out of it. 12th fail movie, just like UPSC success ratio. That is like the 1 in a millionth case it is. Otherwise, it all ends up brutally. Man changes. Men change. Women change. Once they crack the surface, once they see what they can get by marrying somebody from a powerful family, why will they hang on to somebody who has not cleared the exam? Parents also will say, she has not cleared. Why you want to marry her? Marry that MP's daughter. He will give you 80 crore as dowry. House will be there. Farmhouse will be there. German car will be there. Why you want to marry that girl? For German car, anybody will let go of their 5 or 6 year of relationship. Don't worry. Indians will never get united. See, de-dollarization, why you need to do is for the simple reason that when dollar demand actually goes up, okay, if internationally investors starts investing in dollar, everybody wants dollar, then dollar's demand will go up. And when dollar demand shoots up, irrespective of whether we import, whether we export, I've shown this earlier also, rupee will be sitting simply looking at something or singing a song, and dollar will be simply rising up. Rupee will be going down. Rupee will be like, hey, what is happening? What is happening? And dollar will be like, hi. Because dollar demand goes up, automatically rupee will go down. That is why Nirmala Sitharaman made that statement. It is not that the rupee is doing bad. It is because dollar is doing well. It is true. If all the countries decide, oh my God, dollar will have higher value tomorrow, they will go invest in it. So automatically rupee will start going down. So if you actually see, we cannot control two things. One is this crude oil issue. Any time in Middle East, any price issue, anything happens, crude oil rises up. Whichever government it is, they won't be able to control this. Or dollar demand goes up because of XYZ reason. Again, Indian government cannot control this. What is the casualty there? Rupee goes down. So de-dollarization means you should find alternate currencies to do your trade. Which other currencies there other than dollar? None. Because the international economics has been set in such a way that you have to Mostly it is dollar that is used. There is nothing called as true love and all. It is all practical love and love of convenience. Understand that. It is nothing called true love. What is true love? No true love. Every relationship, if you ultimately see, it's a love-hate relationship. I know my wife loves me, but I also know there are some things of mine which she hates, like my short-temperedness. I know it. So it's a love-hate relationship. So what true love are you talking about? Not all IITians crack. Good luck, Anju. Do well. Why are you feeling embarrassed? You're not standing naked or something, right? While talking in English. So don't need to feel embarrassed. Proudly make mistakes. Sanil Moore, again, I would tell you the same thing. Get the gate question papers first. Last 5, 6 years. Sit and practice it. First step to come in UPSC preparation. No first step and all. Just join a coaching academy and start your preparation. Online or offline. I think that should pretty much sum it up. Do well, people. Take care.